Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm relaxation. And as you exhale, give permission to just let go. And maybe you're letting go of any tension. Or maybe you're letting go of an expectation. And maybe there's an expectation of what you should do, need to do, have to do. So as you breathe in and breathe out, just decide there is nothing you need to do at all. You can allow your breath to breathe in deeper and exhale for longer. Simply because the more you breathe in and the more you breathe out, the more you're giving your body what it needs most. And allow that oxygen as it goes in to feel that it's melting away any tension, any stress, any worries. And the human mind sometimes can have the ability to have beliefs about beliefs, to have worries about worries, and sometimes to try and do things where trying doesn't help. That's it. Allow your eyelids to get heavier and heavier. Breathe in and breathe out. And just allow your imagination to construct a place that you consider relaxing. Maybe it's a place in nature. Maybe it's a place under sunshine. But just allow your mind to imagine a place where you would feel very comfortable, very relaxed. And I want you to imagine that you're in this place just as the sun is setting. And maybe you can hear some sounds in that particular place. Maybe there's a sensation that you can feel on your skin. Maybe a breeze, maybe a temperature. And I want you to try and focus on so many things that you can't just focus at all. Become aware of the speed of breathing in and breathing out. Become aware of a pulse or a heart rate. Become aware of any sensations, perhaps muscles feeling tense or feeling relaxed. Remember a time when you had a lovely, long yawn. That's it, feeling like you have permission to awaken your imagination. I want you to imagine, for some reason, in this place, perhaps in nature, there is a bed. But this is a bed not to sleep in. This is a bed purely to imagine things in. You are not allowed to sleep in this bed. And perhaps you can imagine an unusual bed. Maybe it's bigger than a normal bed would be. Maybe a grand 4-poster bed. Or maybe that the bed is levitating, just hovering off the ground with no legs of the bed at all. Find something unique about this bed and then imagine you're wearing whatever clothing is suitable to lie on this bed. The pillow is not designed to help you sleep. The pillow is just there to rest your head and make it feel comfortable. So use the power of your imagination to imagine how you would feel with your head on that pillow. Imagine how you would feel feeling your body on that mattress. And imagine how you would feel perhaps with a blanket or a duvet, giving you exactly the level of warmth your body needs. Very shortly, I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. And with each descending number, I want you to imagine what it would feel like for you to become more and more comfortable, more and more relaxed, more and more like you're letting go. 10, just release any tension around your forehead. 9, as you breathe in, breathe out, just release any tension around your jaw. 8, feel that you can breathe in and breathe out deeper than ever before. 7, imagine someone you know and care about having the kind of yawn that makes it contagious in you, feeling perhaps a desire to yawn yourself. And then 5, just allow your arms to feel limp, loose and heavy. That's it. 4, just allow any internal organs to relax. Heart, lungs, stomach, all relaxing now. 3 and then 2, just allow your legs to feel limp, loose and heavy. And then 2 and then 1, just imagine all the way from your toes to the top of your head, feeling so comfortable, so relaxed, that you can allow your physical body to rest while your imagination goes on a journey through time. As you allow your body to relax, allow your imagination to go all the way back in time to an early memory. An early memory of you getting ready to go to bed. But I want you to imagine that you've gone back in time to a different reality. No memories of your past. I want you to explore an alternative timeline. I want you to imagine observing you as a young child getting ready to sleep, and observe as within minutes of getting into bed, just observe as that version of you drifts off into a deep, rejuvenating, relaxing sleep. But maybe that was just a one-off. So go forwards in time, perhaps to a few months or even a year later, maybe seeing this version of you in a different bedroom. And yet again, see as you get ready for bed, there is an expectation from that version of you that within moments of perhaps a light going off, perhaps moments of your head touching a pillow, that you would just drift off into a deep, relaxing sleep. No agitation, no vigilance, no anxiety, no restlessness. Observe as you witness again and again you getting incrementally older and yet sleeping whenever you need to. I want you to imagine seeing yourself sleep at nighttime in the evening. See yourself napping whenever you need to recharge your batteries. See yourself having long lies in, perhaps on a weekend where on a Saturday or Sunday you're sleeping for longer than you normally would. And then go forwards through time, perhaps your teenage years. Observe how you could almost fall asleep anywhere. And I want you to notice what is different in this version of you that can and does get good quality sleep consistently. Maybe it's simply there is an expectation of good sleep. Maybe the expectation creates a self-fulfilling prophecy that because you see yourself expecting to sleep well, you unlock the very resources necessary to feel drowsy, to feel comfortable, to feel safe, and to feel so relaxed and tired. You can observe yourself drifting off time and time again into a deep sleep. In this reality, I want you to see there is no rotisserie. I want you to imagine seeing yourself sleeping in a stable, restful way. Perhaps not moving very much at all. See the weeks turn to months and months turn to years. That most of the time you're sleeping well. And maybe sleeping well is 6 or 7 or 8 hours. Sleeping as much as your body needs. And notice that when you see yourself waking up in the mornings, you're seeing someone that wakes up with energy, alertness, a sense of having their batteries fully charged. That's it, feeling deeper and deeper relaxed as you then go forwards in time. Perhaps you as a young adult. Imagine seeing what it would be like to have that version of you sleep really well. To feel so relaxed, minutes or even hours before bedtime. And just observe that version of you, perhaps late teens, early 20s, remembering where you were at that time, what bed you were sleeping in, what was happening in your life. Just observe as that version of you drifts off to a deep, rejuvenating sleep. And I want you to imagine what it would be like if that's how it was for you. Not that it was, but just if it was, seeing yourself week after week, month after month, mainly getting good quality sleep most of the time. And then imagine rewinding it back to that early memory of when you were sleeping well. And then step into that childlike body of yours. And now be the version of you that can feel so drowsy and relaxed that now, when your head touches the pillow, you can feel a wonderful feeling of relaxation, tiredness, sleepiness, drowsiness. And imagine what it would feel like to get a good night's sleep, waking up feeling alert. And imagine how it would feel if that was consistently what happens. I want you to imagine going through time from you as a child all the way up to the present moment, imagining what it would be like to sleep well most of the time. That's it. Feel that in this version of you, the melatonin levels are higher, any cortisol is lower. Feel the wonderful feeling of being relaxed. And just imagine that wonderful feeling so that each time you rest your head upon your pillow, you feel a wave of relaxation sweeping over you. That rather than being a trigger to keep you alert and awake, your pillow is a key that unlocks deep and restful sleep, making you feel incredibly drowsy as soon as your head touches it. That as you lay down, your pillow will remind your body and mind to release all tension, inviting a sense of profound relaxation. And maybe you can imagine your pillow is infused with a gentle, soothing power, making your eyelids heavy and your breathing deep, perhaps encouraging your body to release even more of that melatonin. Feel that the dial of melatonin is increasing, that your body now knows how to produce and release more of it. But with every breath, your pillow helps you sink deeper into comfort, your muscles becoming loose and relaxed. That your pillow cradles your dreams, and as you touch it, your thoughts drift off to peaceful and sleep-inducing places. I want you to imagine all the day's worries or stresses dissolve, replaced by calmness and peace. Perhaps you can imagine a gentle whisper in a language only your subconscious understands, telling you it's time to just sleep and let go. Imagine a gentle wave of drowsiness washing over you, from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Allow yourself to go forwards and backwards in time, not in the present, only in the past, as you imagine what it would have been like to sleep well, night after night, time after time, feeling sleepy when your head touches the pillow and drowsy when the time is right to sleep. Allow your mind to turn off all thoughts, focusing only on the comfort and the heaviness of sleep. Have a feeling of comfort that you don't need to keep moving to find the perfect place, because you are giving permission for your mind to allow you to sleep in almost any position. Why change position if you can sleep in any position? Allow your mind to dissolve any blocks to sleep, allowing you to find the perfect state of restfulness each night. Trust in your deep subconscious mind to guide you into the deepest and most refreshing sleep you've ever experienced. And maybe there's some clues or triggers around you. The night in the sky, seeing the moon, stars, or perhaps a quietness that tends to be there at night time. Allow all of these to now trigger a feeling of wonderful drowsiness. Let your pillow be a reminder that it's time to let go of the day and welcome the rejuvenating power of sleep. That exhaustion is no longer the catalyst for sleep. The pillow, the bed, and nighttime is now all you need to release the same abilities that have been there time after time after time to enable you to make the transition from wakefulness to sleepiness. And there is nothing that you need to do In fact, there are certain things you can stop doing, and trying is one of them. Allow qualities to be activated within you that are conducive to a good night's sleep. Peace, relaxation, and a clear, comfortable mind. Allow your mind to screen out any frequencies that could be keeping you awake. Imagine a switch is being flipped to screen out any of those things that could keep you awake. And in the absence of noticing those things, you're able to much more easily drift off into a deep feeling of relaxation. Allow your bed, the duvet, the pillow, the sheets, to all create a trigger to release all tension, welcoming a night of peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. And feel a connection as you now imagine being in the present moment to all those moments in that alternative timeline. Imagine years of good quality sleep, and imagine what it would feel like if that's the only thing you knew. If the only thing you knew was good quality sleep. It's reasonable for you to have an unconscious expectation that this very night would be good quality sleep, that tomorrow would be good quality sleep. And there's nothing you need to do to make it happen, because your mind is just expecting that it can feel safe and secure as you drift off into a wonderful night's sleep. As you listen to these words, allow your mind to update unconscious programming, replacing the years of not sleeping with the idea of years of sleeping well. And just imagine that you're now on a new trajectory where good quality sleep is now an unconscious, subtle expectation. And imagine how you would feel if that was the case. That there's nothing for you to do other than allow your mind to take you to that place. If you're listening to this at a time when you need to awaken, when I count from 1 to 10, you will open your eyes, find yourself alert, and do whatever you need to do from this point forwards. But if you are listening to this at a time when the goal is to drift off into a wonderful, deep sleep, then when I count from 1 to 10, the numbers will simply take you even deeper relaxed, and you will awaken when it is time to awaken, perhaps the very next day in the morning, when it's time to awaken. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.